What's up, guys? Well, I've been working on my Windows computer for test server footage and all that stuff. Bear with me this video. The quality of the recording isn't the best. I have to figure out why OBS is recording in shit quality for some reason. I'm pretty Windows stupid. I hate Windows. Windows sucks. It's slow, complicated. It's just not user friendly. I'm a Mac guy. So with that said, just bear with me for this video. Maybe the next one too, who knows, but my goal is to get my computer all set up, because right now I run test server perfectly fine, test everything out, but I want to get it set up so I could stream test server footage and record test server footage, and that way I could bring more content out. Like, a lot of people ask me for loadouts for this power and loadouts for that power, but I'm really not able to do all sorts of powers because I don't want to be switching all kind of powers on live server, wasting money, and I have to mod for that power and get that gear, and so it's easier for me to do that sort of stuff on test server. So that's what I'm working on right now, and today I'm going to bring you, I just happened to pick up Earth, and I was just testing some things out with Earth for some of the upcoming updates and everything, so I figured, you know what, if I could slide this loadout up real quick. Everybody probably knows it. I run a little bit different than some people do. I put striking stones in instead of the supercharge, but for boss fights I sub in the supercharge, and right there you can see backflip attack would be my supercharge, and I would take out striking stones for the boss fights, because using the supercharge on ads is kind of a waste because you don't get all the hits out of it. It gives you about 5-6 hits from crystal rapidly, and you lose out on some of those hits if you're using the supercharge on ads between you killing them and everybody else. So it's kind of a waste for you to bust out the supercharge on ads. You want to save that up for the boss, and bosses are where the pet powers are weaker at. They don't do a really consistent DPS on the bosses, so it's only smart to save your supercharges for the bosses. So with that said, here's the loadout. Pretty simple. Your PI Rumble Crush, your crushed PI, lasts for roughly 12 seconds about the time of the buff. So as long as you're fighting the same group of ads, there's really no need to keep spamming Rumble Crush unless new ads join the fight and you need to put the PI on them. But other than that, as long as you keep the PI up on them roughly every 12 seconds, you're good to go. So most sets of ads, you really only have to drop the PI once on them, and then just crush them with striking stones and fortified golem, and you'll be good. When new stuff does join the fight though, or you're in a prolonged fight, you're going to need to be using Rumble Crush every 12 seconds. I try to keep it in line with Reinforce, because Reinforce is 12 seconds, and that way every time Reinforce is off cooldown, you clip Rumble Crush with Rumble Crush with Reinforce, and you're good to go. Here's something else I'm also going to be getting into. I'm going to start posting some more of the statistics at the end of the videos. This right here is just the average parser summary. You could see the average DPS, the minimum DPS, the max DPS, and crit percentage, all kind of stuff like that. It's pretty useful information if you really get into things like that. Here's another sheet now. Now this is the damage breakdown of the damage that I did. You could see what did the minimum damage, what was the majority of my damage. Of course, Flip Slash was the majority of my damage. You could also see, just like the parser summary, the minimum, the maximum, and the average damage, crit percentage, stuff like that. And you could see if you're Earth right now and you're out there and you're spamming Rumble Crush over and over, you could see that the average on Rumble Crush is only 870 DPS. And then the average of striking stones is almost 4,000. So that's a lot of DPS you lose when you're out there spamming Rumble Crush over and over. And also Rumble Crush is a slightly slower animation, so it slows you down just a little bit more, where striking stones will pick you up just hairs of a second, but those hairs of a second, I mean, they tend to add up toward the end. So running a loadout like this without the supercharge for the ads and everything is definitely more beneficial for overall DPS. And then when you go to the bosses, like I said, put in your supercharge, power up crystal. And this last sheet, I figured I'd throw it into just a damage breakdown of crystals, not serious. If you want, you can pause the video, take a look at that. Oh, earlier in the vid, I forgot to show how I spec'd and how I mod it, but for Earth, I would spec full precision and mod my gear full precision. You get the best results that way. Well, I hope you enjoyed the vid, and when I put up legit loadouts and stuff like that in the future, they'll be much better than this one. This one I was just going over everything quick. I had some other things to say, and there's some people who always ask me, how are you such an endless book of knowledge? This is why, because I spend too much time on test server, crunching numbers, looking at graphs and charts. And normally I try to keep that out of videos because it's kind of boring, but I'm just gonna start bringing a little bit of it into it. Not the super crazy in-depth stuff, but just a few things to liven it up a little, give you more insight on some more of the specific stuff. So with that said, hope you enjoyed. Adios.